You can look at everything joyfully, or you can look at everything with great sense of misery. Your joy and misery comes from within you. Gu means darkness, Ru means dispeller. One who dispels your darkness is a guru. You seek a guru because you want your seeking to be more effective, not because you're seeking an answer. Stress, tension, anxiety, depression, madness, all kinds of things. What it means is, your intelligence has turned against you, that's all. Why your intelligence has turned against you? There's no stable enough base. So the entire yogic system is about this, that you create a stable base so that your intelligence works for you. The word yoga means union. What you think as myself is just a psychological boundary that you have set up. If you experience everything around you as myself, this is yoga. When somebody experiences the whole universe as a part of himself, then we say he is a yogi. The significance of being human is just this. For all other creatures, how they evolve is fixed by nature. Your evolution is in your hands. If you strive, you can evolve whichever way you want.
The world is changing. Inspiration is everywhere. It has never been so easy to connect, share, and bring people together. We're learning from others and finding the best in ourselves. Challenging our beliefs. Sharing our vulnerability. Overcoming our fears. Transforming ourselves so we can transform the world. How far can we go?
This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is…
When I first heard the name Sadhguru, to be honest, I was a bit skeptical because every week on the internet these days, it seems that a new guru is popping up trying to tell me what to do with my life. But as Sadhguru told me later, guru is a four-letter word and not something that he really subscribes to. He's really here to call us on a lot of our BS and push us to change the ideas that we have about ourselves and about consciousness. And he's got a great book called Inner Engineering, which is complete with stories of his life growing up as a kid who hated school, who rode his motorcycle all over India, until he had a moment where he came to terms with what he was all about, and now he's here to spread the word. And he believes we only have about 10 or 15 years left to save the environment, and it's gonna happen through changing global consciousness, which is exactly what we're trying to do here at London Real through conversations that scale. And so I know you're gonna enjoy my time with Sadhguru. Listen closely to what he said. He's got funny jokes, but if you practically take his advice, I really believe we can save this world, we can save each other, and make a massive difference. So I leave you with Mr. Sadhguru. This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is Sadhguru, the Indian yogi, mystic, visionary, and philanthropist. You've been a keynote speaker at the United Nations and the World Economic Forum and have been named as one of India's 50 most influential people. Your book, Inner Engineering, a New York Times bestseller, details your transformational system for achieving inner fulfillment, and your Isha Foundation, with more than 9 million volunteers worldwide, is dedicated to addressing all aspects of human well-being. Sadhguru, welcome to London Real. Pleasure to have you here. Before we get started, we're sitting at a kind of an English countryside manor. I was wondering, what is your relationship like with London and with England? And when you were a young boy growing up in Mysore, India, what did you ever dream that London would be?
Well, we had to inevitably read a lot of English literature. You can imagine I read a lot of Thomas Hardy, so I had a pretty good picture of London, I mean, English countryside.
He used to describe it for pages and pages,
Yes.
right? And you loved that.
Sentences ran for 2 pages at a time.
He had a photographic mind.
Very. You almost had a picture in your mind when you read Hardy.
And you used to do the same when you used to travel through the… the countryside.
Yes, maybe I was drawn to Hardy because of that. Because even today I don't think in words, I don't have languages in my mind, I think in pictures or videos. So my memory is also like that. I just crisscrossed India, not trying to go anywhere, simply recording the terrain of the land. I still remember every small outcrop, a rock, a twisted tree here and there. This is what lives in my mind. So, I found the terrain, the geometry of the terrain as the most engaging thing for me always. So in that sense, I think some of the English writers became attractive to me because in their minds it looked like they also saw it that way, but they were trying to paint a colorful picture maybe for the readers, but they had… Even in that reading, I only saw the geometry of the land.
Mm-hmm. And when you finally did come to London, do you remember your first thoughts, what it was like?
See, for me, one place is not so different from the other, except for the culture and the people and stuff like that. Wherever I am, I enjoy whatever kind of place it is, because see, people are thinking they can enjoy something. No, if you're joyful, everything is a pleasant experience. So is London for me.
You've been a busy man the last few years. You've been traveling, speaking in front of universities, doing interviews, because I think you feel that we don't have that much time left, maybe 10, 15, 20 years. Can you talk about what you mean by that?
See, as a generation of people, our survival is better organized than ever before. We have ability to communicate like never before. We have comforts and conveniences that nobody had ever imagined, this generation. But also certain things happening. One thing is, there are more people on the planet today thinking for themselves than ever before. Otherwise, a religious book was thinking for them, a priest or a pandit or a mullah was thinking for them, or there was one wise man who was thinking for them. Now, for the first time, a huge, massive number of people are thinking for themselves. Well, you can debate always whether they're thinking right or wrong, all that thing, but at least they're thinking. When I say thinking, what happens to thought process is, see, if two people get into an argument, both the people think the other person is illogical. That means in their mind, there is a certain logical pattern. However illogical somebody may seem to you, in his mind he has his own logical pattern. Once this pattern sets up that there needs to be some logic for you to come to a conclusion of about anything, then many fanciful things that you believe, like your journey to heaven and what is up there and all these things, they start collapsing. If you look at this generation, let's say 2 generations ago, how many people in UK thought they will go to heaven? And today, how many people think they're going to heaven and they're preparing for it? Has come down dramatically. 80% heavens have collapsed in people's minds. Still they don't dare to say that because there is still fear. But in their minds, the aspiration of going to heaven is largely collapsed. So when heavens collapse, what will human beings do? They will try to find it here, which is a very good thing. But if you don't show them any way to find a heaven within themselves, that is when at least 80 to 85% of the population today is on alcohol or some kind of drug happening simply because they are trying to build their own little heaven. Because the other heaven that was promised for a long time has collapsed in their minds. We have come to a place where to grow our food, we need chemicals. To be healthful, we need chemicals. Today, 70% of the population is on prescription medication of some sort. To be peaceful, we need chemicals. To be joyful, we need chemicals. To be ecstatic, of course, you have ecstasy. So we are going towards chemicals in a huge way. The water that you drink is full of chemicals, the air that you breathe is like that, and the food that you eat is like that. So if 90% of humanity goes into chemical consumption, consciously or unconsciously, if they consume a lot of it, the next generation that we produce will be of a lesser quality than who we are. That's a crime against humanity.
Has that happened before in history?
No, generally always the next generation is better than the previous generation. But today we are coming to a place where we could be producing a next generation which is less than us. Once that happens, we have done something very negative against the fundamental life process. So, this heavens collapsing and it's like a trapeze, you're leaving one trapeze, you need something else, if you don't find it, you'll hang on to anything. So right now, chemical is the net, it's not another trapeze, it's a net that you can fall into and people experience their own little heaven. Well, it ruins you in so many ways. See, anything… this is not a moral issue for me. What I'm saying is, the important thing about life, whether it's a grasshopper out there or you, both of us are striving to be the fullest possible life that we can be. A grasshopper is trying to be a full-fledged grasshopper, a human being is trying to be a full-fledged human being. So suppose you cut off one of grasshopper's legs which is supposed to hop, the hopping leg, if you take it off, have you enhanced its life, I'm asking you?
No.
No. So similarly for a human being, if you take away any of his faculties in any way, even temporarily, have you enhanced his life?
No.
So intoxication is just that, it is taking away your faculties for a period of time, but if you continuously do it, it'll take it away for your life. So you're taking away or subjugating your faculties for a little bit of pleasure or maybe a lot of pleasure, however you wish to describe it. But the important thing is you're taking a backward step with life because life can only be enhanced by sharpening and increasing our faculties, not by decreasing our faculties. Our ability to be active physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, if this is in any way crippled, this means we are taking a backward step, though there may be pleasure attached to it. So I'm teaching them a way. If you sit here with your eyes closed every day, I'm very proud of this now, there are millions of people, in the morning if they sit with their eyes closed for a few minutes, tears of ecstasy will flow, millions of people across the world.
That you've taught?
Yes, this is what needs to happen, because you need to understand the greatest chemical factory, the most sophisticated chemical factory is right here. The question is only, are you a great CEO or a lousy CEO? If you are a great manager, you will produce what you want from this. If you are a lousy manager, you do wrong things, you get anxiety, you get something else, you get rubbish going on within you because you are misusing your chemical factory or you don't know how to manage your chemical factory. Just look at my eyes, I'm always stoned. No, never touched a substance, but always stoned.
Is this because we have the technology for the chemicals, or are people taking the chemicals a reaction to this anxiety we feel?
No, see people, every human being wants his life enhanced. If you don't show them proper ways to enhance, they will find shortcuts. See, a man who goes to the bar and a man who goes to a church or a temple or whatever, they're seeking the same thing, they're trying to enhance their life, isn't it? If you do not show them a proper way, they will take whatever ways are available on the street, that's all. That's why I'm saying it's not a moral issue for me. It is just that it sets you backward. You want to go forward, but it sets you backward.
Besides the chemicals, what else bothers you about the world? Are you worried about climate change, war? Are you worried about AI, mobile devices?
Why would I worry about artificial intelligence?
I don't know.
If they're going to do all my work, I will be glad.
And what about global warming? What about some of these other issues of…
The environment is a huge issue right now, there's no question. Am I worried about it? No, I have a plan and I'm working to the plan. If everybody works to one plan, because the plan is not made by me or you, our plan is along with the natural contours of life. If all of us have the same plan, we can turn this around. But if you don't do that in the next 15 years' time, if you start now and next 15 years actively across the world, if we do certain simple things to correct, in another 25 to 40 years, there'll be a significant turnaround. But if you leave this for another 25 to 30 years, you go on business as usual, and then try to turn it around, it will take 100 to 150 years to turn it around, because that is the kind of threshold we are on. If we cross that, then turning it around becomes a much bigger challenge than the way it is right now. This is a good time to turn it around.
Are we gonna make it? Are we gonna turn it around?
You're asking for a prediction, I'm telling you I have a plan. Are you committed to the plan? That's a question. Isn't it? Prediction means what? That means we don't have a plan.
And how do we get people to do this? Is it about education? Is it about people spending time without the chemicals, spending time with themselves? Is this why you wrote the book, Inner Engineering?
See, all those things have to be done, but they are not the solution. There are incremental changes. The important thing that needs to happen in the world is policy changes need to happen in the government level on a global scale. This is what we have achieved in India. For the rivers of India, I did this rally for rivers, which got a phenomenal support from the people. 162 million people participated. This has been the largest movement ever. 162 million people in 1 month's time. So we made a recommendation how rivers should be handled in India. So this has become official recommendation from the federal government now to all the states. So once the policy change happens, budgets will come and everything, the government machinery will start moving in that direction. Well, we've been doing a lot of work, we've changed a few things, many other organizations are doing this, but this is not real solution. Solution will happen only when the fundamental policy in every nation changes towards a more eco-friendly way of doing things. One big mistake that's happened in the world is all these environmentalists are always fighting somebody. These fighting people, nobody wants to be a part of it because they are fighting against the economy. If ecology and economy fights, economy will win hands down. So one fundamental change that I brought about in Indian mindset is, I said I'm going to marry, I'm going to officiate the marriage of ecology and economy. If our economy is not conducted in an ecologically sensitive way, if you say ecology or economy, well, only economy will happen, ecology will go, totally get destroyed. We will only turn around when some great disaster happens to us. You don't have to wait till then. So it's important that I involved the corporate sector in India and made them understand we are not looking for how to destroy your industry. We are only giving you suggestions how to transform your industry so that you could be serving in a larger way than the way you're serving right now. So this is important. For this, policy change is needed, hand-holding is needed, and turning around is needed, rather than going against somebody.
You used to be a businessman. Does that help you talk their language?
That's a long time ago.
Your father wasn't too happy about the chicken farming, but you did have a background though. Does that help you sometimes navigate things?
What
or give you an
background?
extra edge or understanding business as opposed to never having experience?
See, this question comes from the presumption that everything has to come from your experience. That means you're going to be very small. In this world, how many things can you personally experience? Very small. Even if it's wide-ranging experience, still it's very small. So essentially, this whole attitude and questioning and this kind of thing has happened to the world in a big way because our education is confusing people to make them believe that memory is intelligence. Memory is not intelligence. Memory is useful as data, but intelligence is a different dimension. We have gobbled this up, that we have made children believe from a very early age, if you remember something, you're smart. No. A tape recorder can remember everything. This camera can remember everything. This doesn't mean it's intelligent. So, one major aspect of my work is to separate these two. Within your experience, your memory and your intelligence are two different things. If you have an intelligence which is unsullied by memory, you will see everything just the way it is. But if you look at everything through the filters of your memory, everything is prejudiced.
We see a lot of fighting happening these days, us versus them, Democrats versus Republicans. I think the New York Times did a survey the other day, and they found out that someone would rather be against someone than for someone, even if they supported. As in, we're looking for the enemy.
No, see, this is a culture that's evolved. In many places this is happening. Because the elections are coming, I'm tweeting to encouraging people to vote.
In India or
in
America?
India.
In India.
I'm saying in India. So as a process of that, I say democracy is about all of us getting together and creating a wonderful nation. This is not about pointing fingers at each other. Oh, there's a whole barrage of comments saying, what does he know about democracy? Democracy is about criticizing the government, democracy is about pointing fingers, democracy is about pointing out the mistakes. So, some very left-leaning media came to me and asked me this question. I said, do one thing, you're married, right? You go home today, from morning to evening, you'll be all right. In the evening, just for 2 hours, criticize your wife for all the small things about which she's not okay. If you pay enough attention, she's not okay in many things, as every human being is. You criticize her, 22 hours you appreciate her, you enjoy her, but 2 hours you criticize her every day, believe me, in 30 days your marriage will be over. Is that so or no? I said, yes. Then why do you think you have to do this to the government? Once people elect, next 5 years you support them. In every possible way you bolster them. They're doing something wrong, of course. But the day they get elected, if you start criticizing, what are they supposed to do? At least wait for them to make some mistakes. So about being Republican, Democrat, this American culture is unfortunately spreading to other countries also. See, when I first came to United States, it's always amazed me. How are you Republican or Democrat by birth? This is feudalism, this is not democracy. Democracy means whatever happened in the last 4 years, you look at it, what they have done is good for you, good for the nation in which you live or not, and then make up your mind who should rule for the next 4 years or 5 years or whatever the term is. Now, no, by birth you have decided, because my father was a Democrat, my grandfather was a Republican, accordingly I have decided. This is feudalism, where is democracy? This is like another religion. You destroyed democracy. Democracy has something called a secret ballot. That means who you vote, even your family need not know whom you voted, all right? But now you already declared from birth, I'm going to vote only for this party, no matter what they do. This is just a feudalism. I think the 1900s, the feuds of Middle America have gotten to the whole of America now. America needs to rethink. If they want democracy, I'm suggesting this in India, none of the political parties will like it. I said, one thing is, political parties should not have membership. They can have office bearers, whatever number of people they want as people who work for them. But there should be no national membership where millions of people are enrolled as members, because then it's already decided who they're going to vote for. It's important at every election, every citizen thinks whether this is good for me and my nation or not. And according to their own intelligence, they will think and they will vote. Otherwise, there's no democratic process. So I'm pitching for this, that political parties must surrender their this should go, that there should be no membership, because you just formed a new religion.
Why do you have so much pride and passion in India? I mean, you flew back for 1 day to vote. You're constantly giving back and doing things for this country.
I'm doing everywhere in the world, not just to India.
Okay, but you do a lot with India too, notably.
Because a large part of the work is still in India. Above all, for me, a nation is not a geographical or political entity. For me, nation is the largest segment of humanity you can address. So, India as a nation is 1.3 billion people. If you make some changes, then you're addressing a massive amount of humanity right there. So, I'm looking at every nation as just a segment of humanity, not as a political or geographical borders. That's not important for me. But we have still not found a way where the entire world can embrace each other and become one global entity. That's not yet a reality, it's still far away.
That's not Twitter. That's not Twitter and social media, not yet.
That is okay, but in terms of administration, in terms of goals, see, even now, European Union, you're having a Brexit, all right? People find their own reasons as to why they cannot be together. So, world is still not in that place where they can embrace each other and live as one. So, right now, how do you address the well-being of human beings? Nation is the largest piece that you can address.
You get to speak to a lot of young people in their 20s. You become very popular. You're kind of the uncle they never had, the grandpa they never had. What do you see in our young people today? What do you see them struggling with, and do you see hope? Do you see confusion?
See, the problem with every generation is the previous generation thinks the next generation is all confused.
Always been the case, right?
It's not true. It is just that the older generation is not able to come to terms with the new possibilities that the next generation is exhibiting. But one concern is physically, mentally, the next generation, the generation that's coming up now, seems to be much weaker than the previous generations, especially physical strength, I'm saying, because I'm not talking about you being a muscle man or something, but this is weakening of the species, which is dangerous over a period of time. Maybe after some time only 2 thumbs will be living because the only thing they do is text. They may be having big thumbs, but nothing else growing in them. So I feel the youth of today should get little more in terms of physical activity, little more into nature, maybe climb a mountain, maybe swim in the lake. Swimming, everything has become super safe, especially in United States. You can only swim in the pool. Nobody can jump into your pond and swim. You'll get arrested by the local cop. The sheriff will come and pick you up if you swim. When did this happen? How will a young person gain strength, courage, learn to handle many things if you don't do something little unpredictable? Everything is a set track. This is not good. I'll just tell you an example. This was when I came first to United States. We're doing program after program. I do one program, finish this, and overnight we drive, and next day morning I'm doing another program. So I'm driving across United States. So around 2 a.m., we are starved, we've not eaten anything, we've been driving. So no place, then I see one Burger King. Then we walk into this place and then we ask what they have. All their burgers have meat and whatever else. I said, no. Then I said, you do one thing, you just give me the buns. You keep the meat. He said, what am I supposed to do with that? I said, it doesn't matter, you can give it to somebody or you can eat it yourself. Because you anyway eat it, you eat it, I'm not going to eat it. So why should I take it and throw it? He was so confused, I couldn't believe this. He was so confused, he's refusing to give me the buns. I said, I'm going to pay for the whole thing. Whatever the burger cost, I'm paying for this, just give me the buns, you keep the meat. He was confused for a few minutes. What am I supposed to do with this piece of meat? I say, you eat it, give it to somebody, somebody will appreciate it if you put double meat and give it to them. Said, no, and he picked it up and threw it into the trash can and gave me 2 buns. It's so single-track mind. Why should you do that? In India means if I told somebody, I don't want what is in between, he would just take it and eat it and give me the buns.
And do you think people these days are missing that relationship with their own body?
I would say…
Because that was a big part of your evolution, wasn't it?
This whole thing about how our education systems are set are making it all logically correct, and in terms of life it's all wrong.
The movement, the physical movement?
No, the way you use your intelligence.
Okay. Can you speak on the physical movement? Because when you were a young boy, you started a yoga practice, and I'd love for you to define what yoga is, because there's the Western version and maybe your version. Maybe we start there. What is yoga?
Well, today, from where you come, yoga means you must look like a leftover noodle, twisted out. The word yoga means union. Union means whether you are aware of it or you're not aware of it, right now you're happening here as a part of everything else. What the trees exhale, you're inhaling, what you exhale, the trees are inhaling. Not just on the level of respiration, on all levels this is happening. If you live for 75 years, they're saying, you could be eating somewhere between 12 to 14 tons of food. That means right now you must be at least 600 to 700 tons of food, are you?
Apparently.
No, I'm saying, are you carrying that much?
Not that much now.
So this is because even what you call as your body is not the same body every day, it is changing. The very content is changing every day. So, what you think as myself is just a psychological boundary that you have set up. So yoga means consciously obliterating the boundaries of your individuality. So if you sit here, if you experience everything around you as myself, this is yoga. If you experience all this as myself, do you need morality? Be good to people, don't harm them, don't do this, don't do that, would it be necessary?
No.
Did anybody teach you out of these 5 fingers, this is a small finger, don't cut it off? Is there a morality needed like that? Anything that you feel is a part of yourself, with that you don't need any values, ethics, morals, nothing, because it's a part of you. This is what yoga means. You experience everything as a part of you. When somebody experiences the whole universe as a part of himself, then we say he is a yogi. But today, in California where you come from, if you wear a Lulu pant, you are a yogi. Lululemon.
So they've confused the physical practice with the spiritual, transcendental idea.
See, the physical is important because after all you're cased in this physicality, you're not free from this. So one important aspect of why there is a physical dimension to yoga is, it is the science of aligning your geometry, your individual geometry with the cosmic geometry. When geometry is congruent with something larger, it becomes like that, it functions like that, it makes you experience yourself like that. So in that sense, you're trying to reorganize your geometry so that it's congruent to the larger or cosmic geometry. But just doing yoga as an exercise, you can better swim or play tennis or something, believe me. Because yoga is not an exercise like that, it's a very subtle practice. If you're doing it as an exercise, you may feel stretched and flexible, whatever, but that's not the purpose. The purpose is to realign your geometry.
And when you were a young boy, you were jumping down a very deep well, and you saw an older man do the same thing.
Only 70 feet.
70 feet, I'm still trying to imagine that, jumping to a dark hole, hoping there's water on the bottom.
There is water, you can see it, not a hope.
Okay, and then you have to climb back up. But you saw a 70-year-old man do it, and he ended up teaching you yoga. And by using that physical practice, you started to become aligned, and you didn't realize it was happening.
Many things happened to me which, when I was… as a child, as a young boy, waking me up in the morning was a project. It would take 2 hours for my sisters or my mother to drag me out of the bed, make me sit up, I'll fall asleep. Make me stand up, I'll sit down and fall asleep right there. My mother will put toothpaste in the brush and give it to me, I'll stick it in my mouth and fall asleep. They'll push me, they'll splash cold water in my face and push me into the bathroom to have a shower, I'll fall asleep right there. Once I started doing simple physical yoga, within a month or two, it doesn't matter where I am till today, morning 3:30 to 3:40, within those 10 minutes I always come awake. It's my choice whether to get up and do something, or if I wish to rest some more, I could rest some more. But it just comes awake because it just got aligned. There is something happening in nature between 3:30 to 3:40. It's called Brahma Muhurtam in yoga, it's a very significant part of the time. So when that happens, your body just comes awake. It happens to everybody, but they don't notice it. So like this, many changes happened simply because Simple yoga. So that's why I'm constantly reminding people, it doesn't matter for what reason you do the right things. Even for wrong reasons, if you do the right things will happen to you.
In your book, you talk about how everyone is out there searching for happiness and joy, and yet it's inside them the whole time. Everything is inside them if they look.
See, all human experience comes from within, isn't it? I don't know what kind of geniuses thought these things. I know in America there must be 1,000,000 books telling you how to, milk happiness from something else or somebody else but all human experience is generated from within. What comes from within you must be the way you want it, isn't it? Isn't that simple enough, I'm asking?
Yes.
What comes from around you may not be the way you want it, but what comes from within you must be the way you want it. If whatever happens within you the way you want it, will you be blissed out or miserable?
Should be happy.
Blissed out.
Blissed out. Now, it's simple, that doesn't mean it's easy.
Well, it's not difficult either. If you… see, most people understand complexity as intelligence. If they make themselves difficult, they are supposed to be intelligent. Making a simple thing difficult is not intelligence. Making a very complex thing simple is intelligence, isn't it? So wrong sense of intelligence, idea of intelligence has entered people's minds. They think if they make a problem out of every solution, they're intelligent. No, no. If you find solutions for every problem, that is intelligence. That's my understanding.
And how do people start on this path? Because a lot of this makes sense to people, but in the world they live in, they don't know where to start.
Even yesterday I was at this How to Academy talk. The last question was, all this is fine, Sadhguru, can you give us one mantra that we can take home and that'll work for us? So I asked a simple question. See, to learn ABC, to learn to read and write a simple language like English, I'm saying simple language, just 26 alphabets. Tamil language has 212 alphabets, very complex. To learn a simple language, you take 12 years of schooling. To read, write, understand, this all you're doing in the school. You may be reading a science book, but you don't know any damn science by reading a high school textbook, all right? So, for this you're taking 12 years. To transform your life, you want to do it in 2 minutes. So is that what your life is worth? So if your life is worthwhile, is it not important that you invest a certain amount of time and energy rather than looking for this stupid stuff of one mantra with which I will transform my life? It will not happen like that. That's the reason why most people have remained the way they have remained, because they've not invested in their well-being.
So it's a serious long-term investment.
It is not long-term. I would say, if I ask you, is your life worthwhile enough to invest 30 to 32 hours of focused time to bring some basic transformation within you? If I teach you a way where you can manage your chemistry the way you want, but we need 32 hours of focused time, do you think your life is valuable enough for that much investment, I'm asking?
Yes.
Then you must invest, that's what is called in an engineering program. It's 32 hours of focused time. We can format it in different ways, but that much investment has to go in. You want a 2-minute mantra, this is like this. It once happened, Shankaran Pillai had a serious spinal issue. So he went to the doctor. Doctor took an X-ray and told him, see, you need a surgery and it costs you 50,000 rupees. You can convert that into pounds if you wish. And you need 6 weeks of bed rest. Shankaran Pillai said, don't you know I'm a busy man, I'm a television anchor I can't take 6 weeks break, nor do I have 50,000. I'll give you 100 rupees, what can you do? The doctor took the X-ray, toyed with it for some time and said, well, I can fix the X-ray for you.
Tell me about your jokes. You have a lot of good jokes, Sadhguru, and you have some bad jokes as well.
Yeah. Because when they don't get a good joke, you have to tell a bad joke.
Sometimes you tell jokes like my grandpa would tell, or you just want to leave the room, they're so bad. But they always have a point. Have you always used humor? Because there's a lot of it in the book.
Well, I don't know what's a bad joke. For me, it's not a joke, it's just another device to make them see something. Because most people cannot even laugh simply out of sheer joy, you have to tickle them. Even if you tickle them in that, they're judging what's a good joke and a bad joke and getting angry about some joke that they don't like because they think it was attacked, something that they believe in, that they're identified with. It is just a device. It's just a device to make a point. Because if the same thing is told to you in utmost seriousness, you will make a dogma out of it, which is very dangerous. The idea is, see, people are always looking, there's… in the end, people who ask, all this is fine, but what's the takeaway? They want a commandment. We are talking about consciousness. Commandments won't fly. Commandments means you're trying to fix your life. Consciousness means you want to liberate your life. My intention is you must liberate your life. People come and say, Sadhguru, please teach us how to control my mind. Say, you want your mind controlled or liberated? Oh, yes, liberated, but how to control? Because they think that intelligence is a serious problem. And it's been in their lives. So what is the solution? If you remove a part of your brain, you will be fine. You're essentially complaining, I wish I had the brain of an earthworm, this human brain I am not able to handle. Yes, that is a fact. See, according to Charles Darwin, he's an Englishman, okay? It's not me. Charles Darwin said that you evolved out of a monkey. You were a monkey, then you became a man. Some of the neuroscientists today are studying, genetic scientists are saying this, that the difference, the DNA difference between a chimpanzee and you is only 1.23%. So in that sense, physiologically you're only 1.23% away from a chimpanzee. Not a big difference, isn't it? A shade. It's just a shade of difference. But in terms of intelligence and awareness, you are worlds apart from a chimpanzee. So your problem is just this, you have an intelligence for which you don't have a stable enough platform, and that's why yoga. To create a stable platform so that your intelligence works for you. Right now, you may call it so many things, so many exotic names have come up, stress, tension, anxiety, depression, madness, all kinds of things. All this essentially what it means is, your intelligence has turned against you, that's all. You can give any number of reasons, but essentially, your intelligence has turned against you. If your intelligence was working for you, would you create blissfulness or misery?
Bliss.
This is all. Why your intelligence has turned against you? There's no stable enough base. So the entire yogic system is about this, that you create a stable base so that your intelligence works for you. If your intelligence turns against you, no power in the universe is going to save you, you are a done thing.
You talk in the book about thoughts, we're obsessed with thoughts in this world, and I'm thinking this and I'm thinking that. In the book you talk about…
You must understand, when I say I'm thinking this, another word, another way of saying it is, I'm making up this, I'm making up that. You can make up whatever you want, as long as you enjoy it.
But that can be dangerous, always trying to think of the solution, always trying to be your thoughts.
See, if you become what you make up, unfortunate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your thoughts belong to you or you belong to the thoughts, you must make up your mind.
They can be dangerous, those thoughts.
They're not dangerous, they're fantastic. Only thing is, fantastic things mishandled can kill you. A car can kill you, isn't it? It's a wonderful thing, an automobile. It's made our lives. If you handle it irresponsibly, it kills you. Every possibility is like this. Every possibility, if you do not harness it, it becomes a problem. So the same goes for your cerebral capability. If you do not harness it, it's a serious problem. It's taking away 80% of the human beings are simply suffering. They don't need any outside help. They're on self-help.
Hi, it's Brian Rose from London Real. You probably know that we've just recently been re-platformed on YouTube after 25 months completely in the dark. The truth is, I really need your help. What I really need you to do is click on that subscribe button right now, like this video, and maybe even leave a comment or share the link with friends. We're really fighting against an algorithm that's tried to keep us quiet for so long, and the more subscribers we have, the more people watch our content, the better guests we can bring you, the better content, and we can continue transforming lives. We've been doing this for 14 years now. I want to do this for another 14 years, but I really need your help. So click on that subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment, share this, and we're going to continue to bring you more and more great content. Thank you. Most people will never see this opportunity. Dubai luxury transformation projects have historically delivered 40 to 90% annual returns. That is incredible. These were once reserved only for insiders with access. I spent 15 years on Wall Street and I learned this: the biggest returns always go to the people who get the call first. Now, you finally can. We've just received a brand new project with major upside potential. Allocations move fast. Click the link, apply now, and speak to my team. This is your chance to see what others never will.